Hello, everyone. It's Night Owl Nina Tarot, and I am doing another VR. This is a VR to Erin Lento, the Witch of Saturn. The tag is Best Mass Market Witchy Decks. So we are gonna work through the prompts. Full disclosure, some of the decks required, or no, not required, but just requested in the prompts, I don't have that kind of deck. So, and I've already done just a little massaging of the first prompt because it was the first prompt is best mass market decks for working with herbs. So I have this pocket herbal astrology deck by Adriana Ayales, and it is gorgeous. I think I show it in, I've shown it in most of my videos, I think, because it's amazing and it's wonderful and useful. But then I broadened it out to just be like decks that have a lot of greenery because those, general nature. So I added the Tarot au Ramure Étrange, Tarot of Strange Antlers. And this is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. And then prompt 2 is working with astrology. So just to have fun and mix it up and make it into like almost an edit style video, I added the Heavenly Bodies astrology cards to this layout. So let's just flip through. I do think they talk to each other very nicely. We have Ace of Cups here, Joy with the hibiscus, and the Six of Blades. So the Six of Blades in numerology is, the 6 is very harmonious. The Six of Blades in the RWS is about moving away, usually quickly, from a threat. From instead of engaging with that conflict, you're going to just get away from it, move on from it, disengage. And then House 8 is the astrology card we have here, and it's about transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies. So your 8th house, we have Ace of Cups and Joy, which feel very aligned. We have the right-hand side of getting away from a conflict that has been plaguing you. And then underneath it all, we have transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies, which looks like that will be a useful journey, that will be a productive journey. Let's see. Let's do a couple more flips and see how these all work together. Two of Cups, the Sage, blessing, and the Queen of Rods, or the Queen of Wands, beautiful. So the Queen of Wands with this gorgeous red flower. You'll notice I know literally zero about flowers. I appreciate them. They're very beautiful. I just don't know what they are called. But here we have the Suit of Wands. And of course, in the Antique Anatomy deck, we're always thinking about mortality. We're thinking about using the time that we have and seizing the moment and making these connections. And here's the blessing over top of it. And then let's look underneath. Underneath, we have opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. Interesting. All right, so if this opposition underlies this energy, Two of Cups, the blessing, and the Queen of Wands, I'm taking that as that there's something hidden, that perhaps the blessing is actually being given to both of these cards, that the Queen of Wands needs a cleansing, this Two of Cups connection needs cleansing, and that coming back into balance is what is necessary, and so that is the hope of this blessing that's being given. Interesting. Here we have the Chariot. Look at the beautiful antlers, the strange antlers on the top of the Chariot's head. The ginkgo for breakthrough, and the Devil over here. Excellent. And then underneath these three, we have a sextile, a combination of tension and flow, potential, and a rewarding situation. Oh, wow. I do think having this underneath these three, again, it really supports this combination. Because if we have the Chariot, you know, moving forward with incredible determination, just fueled by will, driving forward, and here's a breakthrough. And this card, you can see, looks a lot like the Ace of Swords. And so the breakthrough is making me think, is this a breakthrough of a truth? Did something true come to light? And then over here, we've got the Devil. And the Devil, I usually read as a fear that is within you that is causing you to self-sabotage. So with all of this fuel and will that you have moving forward with such determination in your Chariot, and here's this breakthrough that maybe is driving this will, but perhaps the breakthrough has also opened up some fears. Perhaps you don't want to move forward in your Chariot, even though you think that doesn't make any sense. Yes, I do. And that would explain if underlying all of this is a combination of tension and flow, potential, a rewarding situation. So there's so much potential here with this breakthrough, but we have this tension holding us. Yeah, I like the way these work together. All right, let's go on to the next prompt. All right. You will probably notice that I am in a huge fight with the glare on these cards, but we must press on. So prompts 3 and 4, I'm also combining together, connecting with the Sabbaths or seasons, and prompt 4, the phases of the moon. So I have combined the Black Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle, the Nova Witch Tarot, and then, of course, we cannot overlook the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle and the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot. I think Fall Tarot is, Seasons of the Witch Fall Tarot is coming out in August, and I'm very excited. Funnily, the two tarots both had the Ace of Cups as their first card. So let's look at how all of these work together. And they're just going to have to be in strange configurations. I don't know. I cannot have these lights. But I also want you to be able to see them. So we've got Ace of Cups here. Let's look at these two together. The Ace of Winter Cups. Very sweet, very gentle, you know, in the winter, showing the cup with a dark sky around her and the cup radiating light. And then here we have this much more, much more no, they're both illustrations. What sort of style? I guess line drawings. Oh God, I also, in addition to knowing nothing about herbs or flowers, I also know nothing about art or line styles or anything like that. So it's fine. We press on. We continue. This must be done in these times. We must do tarot videos and tarot VRs. So we have our beautiful Ace of Cups and Ace of Winter Cups. And then on one side we have the spider. What a wild web we weave, dear child. A delicious mystery untamed. The Season of the Witch Samhain has these little, they're almost like lines from poems or something, but it's a really different kind of oracle, and it can be really fun to read with because, you know, of course already so much is left up to interpretation, and then on top of it you have this poetic phrase that they put at the bottom of the cards instead of just some simple keywords. So it's cool. We'll put spider next to moon, even though, oh my gosh, moon, intuition and emotional healing. So very what a wild web we weave. Intuition and emotional healing with 2 Ace of Cups. So this openness, this emotional openness, emotional readiness, ability to receive, next to delicious mystery and intuition and emotional healing. Those all do seem to work quite well together. Can we make this any more aesthetically pleasing? Let's try. Not really. Did that do anything? No, it just added more glare. It's fine. Let's just flip through. We'll just flip through. This is going great. There's my Francois. Perhaps he would like to join us. Ooh, 3 of Winter Swords over here. Elders, birthed from seed within the belly of the moon, they are the wise felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. Then the 2 of Coins. And Black Moon Lilith in Leo, allow your light to shine. Wow, okay. So how would I read this? I'm going to guess that the tarot central, it's not even center, but the larger tarot deck. Hold on one moment, please. Francois meowing seemed as good a time as any to rearrange the cards. So let's try this configuration. I lowered the light a little bit so you can still see the ring glare, but maybe not as much. So let's try. I wanted to put it in a different formation to make it easier for me to see a reading. So I'm going to see this as here underneath everything, we're balancing. We're always in that dance of balance. We're holding up our 2 of Coins, or our 2 coins. And the things that we're balancing are the wisdom of our elders that we feel so deeply. And we're balancing that with wanting to shine on our own, wanting to allow our own light to shine, that Leo and the Black Moon Lilith in Leo, that energy wanting to come out. And then having to work with the energy of the 3 of Swords, you know, a shattering event, a heartbreak, and trying to balance wisdom, being seen, the desire to be seen, and then the need to the need to address this event, to wrench the swords out of your heart, or in this case, to heal from the lightning strikes that have happened to your heart. It is a delicate balance, and it's never going to be perfectly balanced. Let's try one more flip. A reverse journey. Oh. Another Six of Swords. Oh, moving away from retreating. Moving away from the threat, moving away from the conflict, rather than engaging with it. In a very beautiful card. So, what are we moving away from? We're going on the journey. Daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you hone. And on the other side, we have Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Honor your emotions. We have a journey that we're taking in this Six of Swords. We're honoring our emotions. It's probably what caused us to need to take the journey of the Six of Swords. And overhead in the Winter Tarot, the Major Arcana card 19 is midnight rather than the sun. Nordic countries do experience these weeks where the sun never actually goes down. But I don't think that's what this is referring to. I think it's telling us in this tarot, we see midnight as the sun. We see that bright full moon and midnight as a place where we experience joy, abandon, delight. We have a little cat here, a little bird. So let's say the Six of Swords is an aspiration to get to this feeling, a feeling of safety, comfort, delight, abandon. And that's why we're taking the journey. Walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you hone, all that you make. And on the other side, we're honoring our emotions. Yeah, I love these together. Very nice. Hello again. All right, we're back with far less glossy decks, and I'm holding my cat Francois, so hopefully he will not get too upset because I'm giving these decks my attention instead of him fully. Let's see, maybe he wants to get up here. So prompt 5 is the history of witchcraft, and I really only have one deck that deals with that. Actually, that's not true. I just remembered a deck that I don't have in here. Hold on. Okay, now we are on prompt 5, the history of witchcraft. And I thought that I only had one witchcraft deck, real history witchcraft deck, but I have two. So I have the Witch's Wisdom Tarot, which was created by, I'm just going to read this off the description, American Wiccan priestess and best-selling author Phyllis Curott and British hedge witch and artist Danielle Barlow. So they created this tarot. They made tons of adjustments to the card names, to the suit names, and even to the order of the majors, where they did this thing where they reversed the order. So a picture or a card that looks like the Fool instead is the World. And it goes like that all the way through, which is a trip, but also really cool to look at the cards in this new way, to look at the majors in this new way. So I am pairing, this is the Witch's Wisdom, big cards, oracle size cards by Hay House. I edged them in this bright, like royal blue color. And then I brought out Tarot of the Old Path, which is interesting. It's, I believe, from the 80s and created by Howard Rodway, and then consulted, let's see, Sylvia Gainsford, I believe, was the other major contributor. But they consulted the following 8 witches, and our group of 8 witches have contributed descriptions, meanings, symbolism, verse, a tarot ritual, and advice on numerous aspects of the tarot, including correspondences, the astrological and elemental influences that affect a particular card, thus ensuring that this is nothing less than an authentic tarot of the old path. So here you've got, they actually reference in the guidebook the witch that they consulted for the particular card. So they consulted Patricia Crowther for the sun, or Crowther for the sun. And then she wrote the description and then tells you representation, divinatory meaning, elements that influence. So it does feel, it's very comprehensive, and it feels so authentic. Fabulous. I had to buy the book separately. For some reason, this doesn't come as a set anymore. So I found the book, maybe eBay? One of the places. And then this is totally not a historic deck. It is a fairly new oracle from Rockpool called the Folklore Oracle. Beautiful gilded green, this light green edge. And I just thought it would look really good with these decks. So we'll put that there. Here is the Tarot of the Old Path up close. You can see the art style is really dated, really specific, but still so cool knowing the background. I edged this one in a deep green. So let's do some flip throughs. Okay, so on one side, we have Craftsmen of Earth. I believe the craftsmen are the knights. Is that the knight or the page? Let us see. Oh, no. The first one, the first court card is the Messenger. The second court card is the Witch. The third is the Craftsman, and the fourth is the Goddess. So this would correspond with the Queen of Coins, but obviously we're not going to look at it that way. We will look at it the way they intended for us to look at it, which is Craftsman of Earth, and it depicts a skull in the midst of the forest floor. In this case, the Craftsman of Earth is the creature that once walked there, and the earth bringing its skull back into Mother Earth. Very powerful. And then we have a major arcana over here, and as I mentioned, the majors are in this completely different order. So let's see what the 7 is. ancestor. The essence of this card is family, continuity, inheritance patterns, past trauma, forgiveness, gratitude, ancestral blessings. The ancestor appears to pose the question, why are you here? Perhaps you've just been passing time and letting life pass you by. It's time to ask yourself, which way do I want to go from here? If you ask the ancestor for advice, she will tap her chest and say, you have to follow your heart. So I wonder if the ancestor, is she meant to be seen with temperance? Let's see. Well, we'll never know. No, I'm sure we will know, but maybe not right now. I saw that Lennox Reese on her channel did a modification of this deck to turn it into an oracle deck, because that was a way that she was able to connect with it, to be able to read with it. And I see what she was getting at. I love what they did. And at the same time, I want it to be easy to read with. Great. So now we have the 7 of fire. So a 7 of wands and the 4 of water. And then in the midst of this, we have the 9 of cauldrons. So this is fulfilled and feeling very satisfied, but also fulfilled on your own. This is without having built your family or your chosen family. You have your friends, you take care of yourself. And then on either side of you, you have 7 of wands, which in the RWS is someone fighting off with their wand a bunch of other wands that are coming at them. But in this case, this 7 of fire, of course, is recalling the traditional strength card with the lion. And this lion surrounded by these flowers and thorns. What is the lion? Is the lion defending her forest or her home, her peace? And 4 of water, the 4 of cups in the RWS is someone being offered a 4th cup of something and them rejecting it, possibly not even noticing it. But here the 4 of water is so harmonious, these beautiful whales swimming happily together. And it does not look like, I'm not getting a single message from this that is telling me this is about emotional overwhelm or disappointment. It looks like more the numerology of 4, the stability and safety and comfort, and emotional comfort that these 4 bring each other, which is beautiful. And if we think about the 7 of fire numerologically, then we've got these 7 flowers, 7 roses with their thorns. And perhaps we're meant to think this is a transitional moment where your inspiration is growing and your spark is growing and your seeds have been planted, but they're not quite ready to harvest. The tension of the 7 trying to grow into that 8. And in the midst of it, incredible satisfaction. What do we have with our oracle card? Do you dare to go in search of your destiny? Do you dare to go in search of your destiny? Or will you stay at home with all of your creature comforts, Will you go search for your destiny with your family or with loved ones who give you stability? Will you go in search of your destiny even if you have to protect yourself along the way? Oh, I must have had these in order because here's the 8. Oh, the 11 card, balance. Okay, I'm guessing this is the Temperance card, and then the 5 of Earth, which is the 5 of coins, that feeling of lack. The 8 of cauldrons. Much more RWS interpretation here. We're leaving with our cups. We've had it. This deck is very powerful. And underneath it, we have the Folklore Oracle asking, it's bread. How are you nourishing yourself? How are you nourishing yourself? You could ask that of all of them. All right, I've got to stop carrying on about this particular prompt. All right, here we are. We're back. We're on to the next prompt. The next 2 prompts, actually, because number 6 is working with goddesses, and number 7 is myth, lore, legend, and fairy tale. So I am putting together the Feminine Myths Oracle, the Yokai Tarot, the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle, and the Enchanted Pharaoxa Tarot. These are from a bunch of different cultures. These are derived from many of the, actually, let me just read it from the back before I completely screw it up. Tap into the sacred wisdom of the past. Our ancestors have much to teach us about ourselves and our place in this life. This 45 card oracle deck is designed to help you connect with the spirits of your ancestors, the divine, and the harmonies present throughout the universe. Featuring 5 suits of ancestral figures, each corresponding to the elements of air, of Ase, fire, water, air, and earth. Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle is the perfect tool for those looking to deepen their spirituality and connect with the wisdom and experience of those who came before them. I'm such a huge fan of this deck creator, Abiola Abrams. She's an author, she's a priestess, she's the founder of Womanifesting, and you can look at her at Abiola TV. And this artist she works with, Destiny Powell, is really wonderful too. I have another oracle by the 2 of them, and it is also gorgeous, colorful, and very meaningful, very powerful. So culturally, I'm all over the place here because we have Abiola Abrams' deck. We have the Feminine Myths deck, which pulls feminine goddesses from dozens of different cultures. Then we have Enchanted Pharaoxa Tarot, which is about enchanted beings, fairies, mermaids, etc., that come from Nordic legends, I think mostly Swedish. And then we have the Yokai Tarot, which is depicting the legend of, should I say, well, I guess the folklore, the Japanese folkloric figures of the yokai, much like the kami, the spirits of objects, the spirits, there's a very bustling spirit world within Japanese folklore. I think that comes from Shintoism and Shinto beliefs about the energy of things, and this whole huge variety of creatures that represent the spirits of different objects. It's really fascinating, and also the deck is just incredibly aesthetically pleasing. So we will look at them together. I've never looked at these 4 together before. So we will start with, I'm not going to do readings because it will take me forever. But but we will look at them and just note if we see correspondences. So we start with Yemanja, and I will look up. I just said I was not going to take a long time, and here I am taking a long time. Her keyword is journey. She's a sea goddess of West African origin. Her influence extends over much of South America and the Caribbean as well. Her devotees let the waves carry offerings to her and ask her for protection during important moments of their lives. Then we have the 6 of fire on the left. We have Father of Earth, keyword generosity, over all of this. And then the 5 of Wands. And look at these creatures, competing and definitely doing a very good job of depicting the conflict with their tiny little flames on their heads, and their suits of leaves. God, this deck is just so charming. It's so enchanting. So I really am liking seeing all of this together, like the art styles, the vibes of enchanted beings, of the folkloric beings. Let's just flip through a few more and see how they look together. Oh, gorgeous. They look amazing together. Look at this. Look at that synchronicity. And then this synchronicity, gorgeous. We have Mama Killa down here. We have Altar of Earth up here, limitless prosperity. 8 of coins, 9 of coins. Oh, okay. These decks were meant to talk to each other. Who knew? Love it. Ishtar, Mother of Earth, keyword fertile ground. The Chariot over here and the Magician over here. I love a raccoon magician, can I just tell you? I think the Magician and the Guardians of the Night tarot, that's another MJ Cullinane deck. I think the Magician is also a raccoon. No, this is a yokai raccoon, so it's probably like a raccoon bear magical creature of some other kind. But still, look at these majors around Mother of Earth and Ishtar. Beautiful. Oh, I could do this all day. Uh-oh. 2 of fire. She's got her back to us, looking out, future planning, the duality. Over here, the 4 of coins. We've got the 2 and the 4. This creature holding on to the coins so tightly, so scared. And in the midst of it, Harmonia, an altar of water, love overflowing. Well, these have been an amazing surprise. Okay, the next prompt is supposed to be working with crystals. However, I have no mass market crystal decks at home, and so I have only one at my work, and I don't even think it would have worked for this. So I decided instead to just substitute out a completely different prompt. These are witchy-ish sexy decks, sexy/sex love decks. So this is the Tell Me You Love Me Oracle. Oh, so much gloss. And the Goddess of Love Tarot. And I do think both of these decks have witchy vibes, and I also just wanted to see them together. Beautiful gilding, gold gilding on the oracle, another rock pool oracle, and then Goddess of Love. I edged myself in this fuchsia. This idea was not mine at all. I got it from watching Natalia, the tarot shrink. She has extraordinary style. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about if you watch her ever. But she's incredible, and she edged hers in a very hot pink, and I loved it. So let's see how these work together. We've got the Lovers. These are collage decks, and there's going to be some nudity. I don't know. I doubt YouTube even knows that I exist, but if they find out it's art, what can I do? So we've got the Lovers on one side and the Two of Cups on the other. How perfect for a sexy love deck prompt that I made up. And then in the midst of it, we have novelty, beginnings, creation. To begin with, all you need is love. And then it says in French, she has the whole world in her hands. And you can see she has what looks like a glowing heart in her hands. The figures in these oracles are, it looks like they're taken from historic art, but they've given them all these elaborate tattoos, which I like. Queen of Swords and Eight of Pentacles. Isolation, solitude, heartbreak. Solitude without love is punishment. It works beautifully. Nine of Pentacles and Maiden of Pentacles. And in the midst of it, we have this forlorn looking man in his strange underwear. Forgiveness, freedom, reconciliation. To err is human, to forgive divine. Oh, between these two suit of coins cards. Beautiful. I'll just do a couple more because I just love the way these look together. Queen of Pentacles and the Judgment. Wow. Health, specialist, finances. All is well when life goes well. And then he's got a tattoo above and below his eye. I have to make myself stop. Oh my God, Seven of Cups and the Witch of Pentacles. And in the midst of it, marriage, agreement, officialization. Long live love and those who love life. I think we can say this is total home run. Total home run of a completely substitute prompt that no one asked for except me. Okay, on to the next. All right, next prompt is prompt 9, witchy aesthetic. So I think this is very funny because we're just here for vibes, witchy vibes. So I chose for these a deck that I'm pretty sure is a witchy deck, but can I find that? Well, it doesn't matter. It's here for the vibes right now. So I chose the Lubanco Tarot, the Urban Crow Oracle, and the Lost Oracle. I also think they look really good together, but these decks all have deeply witchy vibes to me. You can see the pentacle here. I mean, the pentagram here. It looks like we're dealing with a cauldron. This is the magician. The figure looks unspecified gender, which I also find it to be a witchy quality, but that could just be me. And then we've got crows, which always make me feel more witchy if I see them, even if I see drawings of them. So anticipation, the magician, and hearth. Broaden your horizons is the phrase for that. think those work really well together. Grief, Knight of Pentacles, and Elixir. Elixir, your wish is granted. Oh, so sad. Such a moody deck. And this is such an emotional deck. And I find this art style so emotional. Gifts with all of its trinkets. The Page of Wands and Encirclement. Love will flourish. Page of Wands has such fun energy. It's so fiery, sparky. And then the gifts surrounding the crow, it's almost a design synchronicity. Not quite, but still. All of these definitely witchy vibes. Displacement, the Devil, Lubenko, Emily Lubenko, the person who created this deck. And first of all, what an incredible artist. And depicts sex and sex organs as having often to do with pomegranates. And so here is this devil naked, possibly having sex with a gigantic pomegranate. But this idea of excess, this idea of distraction and holding onto these chains that are, like clearly not holding anything, I think is a really a fascinating depiction of the devil. And then we've got Harvest Ritual, trust the endings in life. These three are working really well together. And I think even separately on their own, they all will still give you witchy vibes. This very, very sexual strength card. Strength being a certain amount of taming, is what she's taming her desire rather than the beast within. What she's taming is her desire within. And then we have commitment on this side and found, trust what lies ahead on this side. Oh, these three. Okay. On to the next two prompts, which are number 10, working with animals. So I have these three oracles all mixed together. One is the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle, the Crystal Ball Oracle, and Faded the Pocket Love Oracle, all by Athene Noctua. And then we have the Crow Tarot here by MJ Cullinane, who has turned out to be the star of this whole video. I think we've used, this is their third deck that we've used. This is the Fairytale Heroine Oracle. This is one of the decks I chose for prompt 11, which is the Descent. And the other deck I chose for the Descent is the Shadow Seer Tarot by Witch of the Dawn, Maya Doost. Work together. So we are starting with the Seed. And above it, listen to your intuition. On one side, we have the opposition of Temperance, the opposite of Temperance, which is Impulse. And on the other side, we have the Star, which is so healing. I promised myself I'm not going to get caught up in doing readings for each quartet images. So here we have the Kiss, which is often, magical in fairy tales, or does something magical to the fairy tale heroine. Above it, we have the Stag, a symbol of courage, protection, the higher self and defense. Over here, we have the opposition energy of the Four of Cups, which is indulgence. And then over here, we have the Six of Pentacles, this even exchange, reciprocity, and a little bit of generosity. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. So this is a location. This is the smithy. So, I believe that would be the blacksmith shop. Here we have the High Priestess in shadow, the abandoned bride. Above everything, we have the Black Cat, magic, liberation, rebirth, and protection. And over here we have the Magician. I think those work beautifully together. One more. Down here, here's a role, apprenticeship. Beautiful. And above it, we have this bird representing success, sensuality, wholeness, and victory. The bird has just caught a little fish. Over here, the opposite of the Ace of Cups, hatred. And then over here, looks like we have the Nine of Cups. So there is a very satisfied crow over top of all of their lovely choices to snack upon. Beautiful. All right. Okay, on to the next, I think, which is the final. Okay, final prompt. Number 12, working with runes or other divination systems. Clearly, that is not what these decks are, because I don't have that kind of deck. So instead, I chose to show a few friendly, everyday, modern, witchy decks, or witch decks. These decks give the vibe that everyone is a witch or could be easily a witch, and that's really cool and easy. So this is, we've got the Modern Witch Tarot on the left, and then we have the comfy, cozy Witch Oracle in the center, and I don't have the box for it. Oh, yes, I do. And I have the Everyday Witch on the right-hand side. And they're great readers. Very diverse, very femme-centric, though. So we have Knight of Wands. In between the autumn equinox, harvest, balance are the keywords. And the World over on this side as she tosses her witch hat up into the air in celebration of whatever milestone she has just reached. There is Francois. Look how cool the Knight of Wands outfit is. Oh, I love this deck. Good Lord. Here we've got the Six of Cups for nostalgia. The inner child, kindness to the inner child. In the midst of this, we have delight, happiness, believe. And then over here, we have the Five of Wands, all the witches in conflict over top of the cauldron. Look at all the cats, just relaxing, waiting for them to figure it out. Oh, wow. The Modern Witch Tarot has a fairly famous Ten of Swords card, which is the Everything is Fine card. So her body is filled with swords, and she just looks at her phone lying on her side. Everything is fine. In the center of it, we have simplicity, boundary, B. And on the other side, we have the Ten of Wands. Such burden. So many passions, and I've taken on all of them. 2 tens, the end of 2 major cycles. Simplicity in the midst of it. The Star. What a sweet star card. And then over here we have Page of Swords, filled with curiosity and longing for knowledge. And in the center, between them, water, ease and flow. So the healing, the hope, and the Page of Swords with all of that childlike hyper energy, reading all the books, getting all the knowledge, doing all the research. But in the midst of this, it's saying flow, ease. All right, those are my mostly following the prompts, but going off course sometimes. I went a little bit rogue. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the comments.